All right, everyone, welcome to the December 17th, 2025 Township of Lopatcong Planning Board meeting. Would everyone please join me in a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Ledger and the Express Times and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Our first order of business here tonight, we're going to swear in our newest member, Lou Hardy.
Mr. Hardy, if you please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, and that you will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of a regular member of the Planning Board of the Township of Lopatcong according to the best of your ability?
I, Louis Hardy, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of Planning Board according to the best of my abilities. So help me God.
Congratulations.
Roll call.
Yes. Members Coyle, Coy, George, Hardy,
Here.
Lawler,
Here.
Mengucci, Toledo, Weeks, Vice Chairwoman DeLeo. Here. And Chairman Sampson.
Here. Okay. Old business. Did everyone receive the email with the minutes of the last meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody got it? Any questions, comments, revisions? Okay, hearing none. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Make a motion to approve, same.
A second.
Roll call now. Members Coy,
Yes.
Hardy,
Yes.
Mr. Hardy, did you say abstain?
No, I said yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me rephrase that.
Lawler.
Yes.
Vice Chairwoman DeLeo.
Yeah.
And Chairman Sampson.
Yes. Okay, next on the agenda, 1179 Route 22, Greenhouse Dispensary, Block 100, Lot 10.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, my name is Mark Peck. I'm an attorney with the Florio Prucci Law Firm. Here on behalf of the applicant, Green Property Management Group, LLC. We were deemed complete back in September, and we've properly noticed this hearing with the affidavit provided to Ms. Diltz. We're here seeking preliminary and final minor site plan approval with both C1 and C2 bulk variance relief to allow the construction and operation of a Class 5 retail cannabis dispensary on the vacant 1.83 acre property at, as the chairman indicated, 1179 Route 22, which is Lot 10 and Block 100, which is located in your Highway Business Zone District. And cannabis dispensaries are a permitted use in that zone. And the applicant did secure a resolution of support for this project that we're here about tonight from the Township Council back on March 5th by way of Resolution 2025-58. That resolution of support is conditioned on a couple of things. The first is proof of a license from the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Commission. We have a conditional approval, but we can't get the final approval from the CRC until we get the local approval. Proof of possession of the premises, which we have, they own that property. And then finally, compliance with local zoning. which is why we're here tonight, hoping to get the approval that will put us in compliance. And that would then entitle us to apply to the township for the township's license, which then allows us to go back to the CRC to get the final license. So this is a step in the process, but again, the township has endorsed this project, the Township Council. So the bulk variances that we're here about with the requested site plan approval are first from section 243-74E to permit the existing 1.83 acre lot to house this business where 2 acres is the minimum required in the zone. From section 243-74D to allow the east side buffer to be less than the required 25 feet. From section 243-53E to permit a freestanding sign 8 feet in height, where only 5 feet is the maximum permitted. And finally, from section 243-49D, relating to the 4 parking spaces in the front of the property, which have a 56-foot front setback where 75 feet is technically required. And we'll have some testimony on this, but my understanding with that last variance is we can eliminate those 4 front spots and do away with the need for the variance and still be in compliance with the township's ordinance if we take EV credits and that stuff. So it's really up to the board when it comes time to consider that. Just do you want us to have it or not? And we've reviewed Mr. Wisniewski's October 17 technical review. Don't have any issues, as we'll testify to, with anything therein. And the township's cannabis ordinance, also adopted in March of this year, 2025-03. Of course, all of its provisions we understand are applicable, and no problem, of course, following, which we'll have to anyway as part of the township's license. And it is important to note, finally, that the license that the township issues is an annual license. So that really is a strong enforcement and compliance mechanism, because if the applicant does secure all its approvals and is in operation, they go to renew their license and they haven't lived up to promises made here and before the council for the CRC, that could endanger their license and their ability to operate. So, so there are a lot of checks and balances here. But anyway, tonight we're really only planning on providing direct testimony from one witness, Derek Ranger, from French and Perillo. So he'll discuss the site plan and the variances, but we also have Sharon Murrah and Michael Matthews here. To the extent operational questions come up, they're here to answer those. So without any further ado, I'd like to present Mr. Ranger.
And before we actually swear in the witness, just to be clear about jurisdictional issues, there's a licensing component that this board is not involved with. This board is just to say, this is permitted use in the zone. Does the site plan comply? And are variances as requested being appropriately granted, I suppose. So I just want to separate that out a little bit so that
Thank you for
you may not think that, the regulations, whatever, this is land use.
Yeah.
Licensing regulations are separate. So, sir, if you'd raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give this board is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name and spell your last for the record.
Andrew Derek Ranger, R-A-N-G-E-R.
Thank you, sir.
Derek, would you give the board the benefit of your educational and professional background?
Yes. Good evening, board, Mr. Chairman, board professionals. I graduated from the University of Connecticut about 14 years ago with a degree in civil engineering. And I've been a professional engineer in the state of New Jersey since 2018, and my license is in good standing.
Move Mr. Ranger as an expert in the field of civil engineering. I'd say so.
So this is just a copy of the submitted site plans.
And you're familiar with the site and you prepared the plans?
I am. I prepared these plans.
Very good. And these are the plans that were submitted with the application?
Yes, this is just the overall aerial shoot to the plan set to start with.
Okay. So you're going to explain the Existing conditions and surrounding neighborhood?
Yes. So the site is located at 1179 Route 22. It's also known as Block 100, Lot 10. The property is located in the Highway Business District on the north side of Route 22, also known as the westbound side. The property consists of 1.837 acres and is currently developed by a billboard sign in the front yard. Generally, the site currently slopes from the front to the back, or to the northwest corner of the lot. To the west of the site is the Warren County Collision Center, and to the east is the BP gas station. To the north is a farm field, and to the south is the Phillipsburg Mall site. The site has no environmentally constrained areas, no wetlands or streams. And we are proposing to maintain the existing billboard sign, and these containers in the back corner of the lot are associated with the BP gas station, so those will be relocated onto their lot. Now I will share a colorized exhibit of the site plan.
And we'll mark this as A1 with today's date.
Okay. This is just a colorized version of the site plan that you've been provided with the landscaping added, just to show all of the site features that you see. So we are proposing a one-story, 9,000 square foot building that will be broken up into two separate units. The front unit will be the one-story, 4,000 square foot dispensary, and the rear portion will be a 5,000 square foot office with two units, a 1,500 square foot unit followed by a 3,500 square foot unit. The proposed site improvements are 47 parking stalls, including 3 ADA stalls and 2 EV stalls. There's 2 ADA stalls up front and 1 in the rear. A one-way looped driveway that has a short 2-directional way to allow for internal circulation. A right in and a right out only entrance and exit. And the entrance and exit fully complies with the NJDOT Highway Access Manual, and we will be submitting to them in their review. We are also proposing a 55 by 12 foot loading zone that is directly adjacent to the cannabis receiving entrance, and a 10 by 15 foot trash enclosure in the rear of the lot that is located outside of public view. There will be a approximately 350 foot retaining wall around the western and the southern portion of the parking lot in order to maintain grade slopes below 5% throughout the lot. And the rear retaining wall here is purely just to catch grade before the proposed septic system.
Derek, the ingress and egress to Route 22?
Yes.
So that's driven by DOT?
Yes, that design is driven by DOT, which.
So does that account for the buffer encroachment on the east side of the property?
Yes, so partly the main reason for the design is to get the maximum number of parking stalls. We didn't want to be angling the parking into the building just for safety, and we needed to be a minimum of 12 feet from the property line in order to comply with the DOT standards. So it's probably about 12.5 feet from that corner, so we really can't push it further without losing parking or reducing this buffer. The parking lot and drive aisles were designed to accommodate emergency vehicles. So we analyzed the site using a WB50 tractor trailer. and turning movements throughout the site to ensure that any emergency vehicle can navigate through the loop. There are no dead ends, blind corners, or constrained turning areas within the site. This rear parking area, or this rear drive aisle area, is bumped out. We increased the impervious in that area just so that there would be no turning issues. The stormwater management system, which you can kind of see here with it's located over the parking stalls, and actually now will be located over all the parking stalls. We will be revising that to comply with your board engineer's comments to not infiltrate any water. So the system has to get a little larger, but it won't change any of the site layout. It's just going to be more pervious pavement. For the zoning table shown on sheet 4, also on this exhibit, the minimum lot area is 2 acres required. We have 1.837 acres, which is a variance. Front yard setback of 75 feet required, and we are proposing 85 feet proposed. The rear yard setback is 80 feet required, and we have 135 feet proposed. The side yard setbacks are 50 feet required, and we have 51.1 proposed. The max building height, we're a 1-story building proposed, whereas 45 feet is permitted, and the total lot coverage is 50% permitted, where we have 49.9%. Part of the design was maintaining that below the 50%, so there were no additional variances. For the variances requested, the lot area variance, 243-74E. The proposed development requires that variance. The lot area deficiency is a pre-existing condition and not created by the proposed development. The property has been configured as a commercial parcel along Route 22 corridor and is consistent with the surrounding development patterns. The proposed site layout fully complies with all the required setbacks, building height, and lot coverage limitations, demonstrating that the reduced lot area does not result in over-intensification of the use. The project provides adequate parking, circulation, stormwater management, and buffering despite minor lot area deviation. We will also be requesting a buffer width variance from 243-74D. Relief is requested for the buffer strip where 25 feet is required, 13 feet is proposed on the BP side or the eastern side. We are able to meet that 25 foot requirement on the collisions, the western side or the Warren County Collision Center and the rear of the property.
Now, both of those sites to the east and the west are fully developed almost up to the property line, correct?
Yes. The Warren County Collision Center is, the curbing is along the property line in the rear, and the BP is, I would say, about 15 feet away with no trees in that buffer.
So the reason for the it would be a hardship for the parking, right?
Yes, I mean, we could make it work. However, it's given with the DOT standards and trying to keep everything, the circulation patterns for emergency vehicles, we really, this is the best layout.
So that's the better design alternative?
Yes, this is the safer design. That's the buffer width variance. The sign variance, so the freestanding sign, it's just in the bottom or the southeast corner of the lot. It's a variance for the max height. So in the zone, we're permitted a 5-foot max height for the sign, where we are proposing an 8-foot sign. The sign is on sheet 15 of the plan set, and it's really for safety. I mean, this is a higher speed highway or roadway, and the higher the sign, the further these people can see the sign, which they don't have to slow down, but they'll know in advance of the site when it's coming up, and they don't have to slam on the brakes.
And other
How far back
commercial,
off the road is that?
The sign, 25 feet. which meets the minimum standard.
Yes, your rendition, which is the sign, the black? Or the-
So the black is the existing, that's the existing billboard sign, which is proposed to remain. Now that, so it's just a one-way traffic, and since it's right in, right out, the location of the billboard sign, even though it would, if it was a two-way highway, it could be an issue, but there's no issue with sight distance because nobody will be looking down the highway to make that entrance.
Will the applicant have any concerns about marking the rear no parking area marked with no parking signs and yellow hash on the pavement
Yeah. I
to
think
eliminate
that's perfect
any
reason.
people parking there?
That's fine, that's a good suggestion.
Let me ask you, when you said your primary reason for that sign being 8 feet was safety,
Yeah.
in reference to what study or what safety aspect?
Just given the speed of the road, 50 miles an hour, things that are, it's pretty consistent with all of the Route 22 signage. The BP sign is, it's about even with the billboard sign. The higher up it is, the easier your eye can catch it. And all the drivers on this road will be looking at, the BP sign, which is significantly taller, and the billboard sign, and then if we have our proposed sign at 5 feet, they won't even see it.
And could that also block the view of people leaving the site if it were
If it were closer,
lower?
it could. It won't impact any sight lines, just given the distance it is from the right-of-way line. That won't be an issue. It's mainly due
Do you
to
have that? I didn't notice that in your plans. Do you have that? Your
this.
sign in reference to your sighted vision pull in or out of there?
I believe there is a
I
site.
overlooked it, I don't know, but.
I believe we had that, or I saw it at some point. Yes, sheet 6
If
of the
it's in there, I
plan.
believe you. I
Yeah.
don't recall, so that's
Yeah,
what I was
it's-
asking.
It's not a line of sight for the sign itself, however, it's the sight line triangle, which I believe is also profile here. Profile. Yeah, sheet 9 is the sightline profile. So that shows a distance of 530 feet. So that's the required sightline per the DOT standard for the roadway, which there's adequate sight. And the last variance is the front yard parking variance for the 4 stalls in the front here. The variance is for parking within 56 feet of the front line where 75 feet is required. This is just, the ordinance reads that the parking is required to be behind the front yard setback. Now, the reduced setback results from the need to maintain the internal circulation. We could, in theory, just have just the driveway. However, it made engineering standpoint, or from an engineering standpoint, it just made sense to have some stalls here for ADA access.
Let me ask you this, in reference to the ADA, does that meet the ADA federal requirements of, since we're cutting it, normally the zoning is set up for that car to pull in or out with the 75 feet. So are you saying if the variance is granted to 56 feet, that is a federally approved parking spot?
Yes, that'll fully comply with all ADA requirements.
Okay.
The proposed layout minimizes the impervious coverage, keeping it consolidated. We could push the entire development back, but we would need to, then the roadway gets longer, we would need to reduce coverage, maybe reduce some of the wide 30-foot aisle here in the rear. The front yard parking configuration is consistent with the other commercial developments on Route 22. I mean, you can see the neighboring properties. This has a gas station pump over, but there is parking within the front.
Is there any thoughts of generators being installed?
That I am not aware of. Generators, just like, electric going out. And there is public gas, so,
I don't know if it's required for the maintaining during power outages,
yeah,
your product, and if it is, where do you plan on installing that?
yeah.
Yeah, we would be open to it. I mean, is your question, do you prefer them or not?
No, it's just, if you are, where are you gonna put it?
Yeah, I mean, there is room for,
What size are you gonna need?
Yeah, that's a valid
It can
question.
be,
We
yeah,
could propose that, and we'll make sure that that's on the plan.
My other point with that you brought up, you said you're at 49.9% lot coverage?
Yes,
So the generator, if it's not anywhere already where you have it, macadam or asphalt, is that gonna put you over your 49.9?
there is some wiggle room there. We do have some areas that we could easily trim, some impervious coverage to make that.
There are roof mounted backup generators.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's an option for you or not, but
And, I mean, ultimately, let's say it's a, 6 by 4 foot pad. It's not a huge amount of impervious coverage. So, it's less than another parking stall would be. And we do, and I'll testify to this, but with our parking right now is meeting the requirement. However, we're not taking credit for the EV parking. So we could reduce our total parking to 45 spaces and eliminate some. So if needed, we were just trying to make sure there's adequate parking. I know it was a concern of some of the board members during the completeness hearing. So we prepared a traffic statement, which we have submitted to the board. This evaluated trip generation, access, circulation, and the Route 22 corridor. The driveway is a right-in and right-out only, with no median opening available. And all site traffic arrives and departs on the westbound on Route 22. The trip generation summary using the ITE land use codes for the marijuana dispensary and a small office. The AM peak hour is 8 new trips. The office is the only generator in this AM peak hour due to the dispensary being closed at 6:30 in the morning. The PM peak hour, there are 107 new trips, and the Saturday peak hour are 119 new trips. The trips identified represent the site-generated traffic and do not account for the pass-by trips. Therefore, all of the projected volume will be new trips on the surrounding road. It won't be all new trips on the surrounding roadway. Overall, the anticipated trip generation is a conservative number and can be readily accommodated on the Route 22 corridor, which is a major arterial roadway with sufficient lane capacity and signalized spacing to serve the existing anticipated commercial traffic patterns. The on-site parking and circulation was designed to allow for some queuing, and I performed a queuing analysis on top of the 47 parking spaces we're providing. There's about roughly 688 linear feet of additional length to complete the full circle. This could accommodate roughly around 24 vehicles in addition to the 47 stalls, which is well over any of the anticipated demand. In accordance with the Township parking ordinance and the size of each proposed use, the development is required to provide 47 off-street parking spaces consisting of 20 parking spaces for the office use and 27 parking spaces for the dispensary use. In addition to the ordinance compliance, a parking demand analysis was conducted with the ITE parking generation manual. The ITE manual indicates a peak parking demand of approximately 24 spaces for the dispensary and 10 spaces for the 5,000 square foot small office. Combined equals 34 spaces according to ITE. This comparison demonstrates that while the project complies with the township ordinance requirements, the proposed 47 spaces is more than adequate to to accommodate the anticipated parking demand for the site. In summary of the traffic, the proposed use will not create an adverse condition on Route 22 or any municipal roads. The DOT will perform their detailed analysis and the review as part of the major access permit process that we will be submitting. We don't anticipate any issues getting that permit. As for stormwater and grading, I'm going to bring up again, it's just a sheet that we provided, plan set, sheet 7 of the plan set. So the design is to be consistent with the existing drainage patterns, which everything drains from the southeast corner to the northwest corner of the property. We were able to meet the NJ 7:8 design standards by sending all roadway runoff into the pervious pavement systems located over the parking, and capturing the front parking area into a manufactured treatment device before going into a small-scale infiltration basin in the rear. We will be revising that in subsequent revisions to have no infiltration. All systems will be lined due to the carbonate rock formation. Sorry, just need some water.
And that's consistent with Mr. Wisniewski's
Yes.
engineering review, correct?
Yes, we will be performing a geotechnical phase 1 and phase 2, addressing the 243-48D, and that will be submitted prior to final approval. And the proposed stormwater management system will comply with any recommendations made in that report, which I've spoken to our geotechnical engineer, and he has already, with just limited knowledge, recommended that the systems be lined. And we have, in addition, reviewed the stormwater analysis, assuming no infiltration, and revising the stormwater sizing, and we are confident that we can accommodate that runoff without revising the site layout.
Where's all your roof runoff water?
The roof runoff is going right into the small-scale
Independently,
basin.
or it's gonna run across the asphalt?
No, it's being piped through roof leaders and then going in. If it runs all over the asphalt, it becomes an issue, because any water running over the asphalt, you need to treat before it goes in. So as for utilities, I will skip ahead to stormwater. I could just show the lighting plan. So lighting plan is sheet 10 of the plan set. There is 2 existing public utilities for the property. There is a gas line that's roughly 5 feet off of the roadway line for Route 22 in the lawn area, and there is a existing utility pole in the southeast corner of the lot that we will tie in for electric. We're proposing an on-site septic system in the rear here to capture sewer, and we are proposing a well in the front yard in this median area. The reason for it being in this area is due to a neighboring well here, the proposed septic system here, and there's some neighboring septic system issues, and there's a very small window where we can propose the well on the property. There is an option that there's a existing fire hydrant across Route 22, which if we submitted a well serve to see if the water company would be willing to, say, directionally drill under and gain access, we'll provide that to the township if, when they respond. For the lighting, all lighting is LED, full cutoff, and dark sky compliant. We're proposing 7 pole-mounted fixtures spaced out through the parking area. All lights will be LED, full cutoff, dark sky compliant, and they'll be to provide uniform site illumination.
Can you go back, interrupt you there? What was your reference? You're saying well, but if the water company brings you a water main?
Yeah, so there is a existing fire hydrant, and we submitted a well serve request to the water company to see if they had capacity or if they were willing to. And sometimes water companies will pay for that upgrade to directionally drill under the highway to gain access to these lots over here and provide the public water for them. So
So that
obviously,
option, your first option is to do what you're well, correct?
yes, right now we have to assume that they're not going to allow that, or they're just going to say that in the future maybe, or we're not going to provide public water for the site. So both neighboring properties do have wells. However, the BP was developed in early 2000s, and the collision repair was developed prior to that. So the site lighting was designed so that no glare is directed towards Route 22 or any neighboring properties. And the lighting plan will be revised to note the use of 3,000 Kelvin fixtures and to document the reduction in lighting intensity during non-operational hours while the facility is closed.
So that would be 10 PM and later is set forth again in the engineering.
Yes. Yeah.
I can interrupt you again.
Yep.
You're going back to your, I don't want to reiterate, go back, but you don't need to move that back. Your, the sign,
Mhm.
you have specs on the illumination of the sign?
I think the sign right now was not proposed to be illuminated. However, we will comply with, the township ordinances.
I didn't know if you had specs on illumination.
No, currently we do not.
Okay.
But we do have the detail for the sign. And I'll finish up with the landscaping. So the landscaping plan, we're proposing foundation plantings around the property with perimeter shade trees around the building, small shrubs throughout, and a 25-foot landscape buffer on the westerly side and the rear side of the site, comprised of both evergreen trees, shade trees, and shrubs. A 13-foot landscape buffer is proposed along the easterly property line. This is comprised of both evergreen trees, shade trees, and shrubs as well.
And Derek, those will be New Jersey native and drought
Yes.
resistant, again, is set forth in the engineering review.
Yes, you beat me to it. So that's also set forth. When we submitted to Highlands, that was one of their comments as well, that we comply with, and we have all drought tolerant species. So we'll be updating that in the
It'll
subsequent.
be native and drought tolerant?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Excellent.
So in conclusion, the project conforms with the HB zone. It meets all the stormwater and engineering requirements, or will meet all the stormwater requirements. And it makes a meaningful improvement on the currently underutilized highway parcel in the township. I respectfully request your approval of the application, and I'm happy to answer any questions. If you'd like to go through any of the letters, I have those too.
So the sign, is that gonna be like an electronic sign that flashes, or is it like a?
There's no flashing signs permitted. If it was just backlit, then I believe backlit signs are permitted.
Yeah, we were just discussing that briefly here, and so as long as they're not flashing or moving signs,
Flashing
then
isn't allowed.
Yeah.
then they're fine. It could be internally or externally
Or
illuminated.
ground mounted.
Ideally, probably externally illuminated signs are less impactful,
Yes.
certainly than like an internally illuminated sort of box sign, but certainly that's up to the applicant.
Yeah.
As long as it's conforming with the zoning ordinance and we're not contemplating any variances for the sign, besides the height, then certainly.
Yeah.
Did we make that an ordinance yet? I don't think we did.
What's that?
So
We did? The flashing signs?
yeah, that's an ordinance.
It's an ordinance.
Can't be flashing.
Yeah.
Right, that's already on the books.
Who's gonna own the billboard? You guys are gonna own the billboard?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
Well, the landowner owns the billboard.
Right, so it's not leased out to
It's
anyone else,
leased out to the Adams Outdoor.
but you own the
That's
billboard
correct.
itself, right?
What are the days and hours of operation?
So currently, on our plan, we had a 9 AM to 9 PM. However, it would be whatever is permitted in the zone for hours of operation.
Well, we know it can't be past 10, because that's when the lights go
Yes.
out. So,
10 PM would be,
But that's gonna be up to licensing.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not sure, I get so confused between different towns, whether
Yeah.
we have business hours regulated.
I didn't see, I checked that,
Yeah.
and I didn't see anything in the code, so I think we'll be guided by what the township council says when it, when we go before them for licensure.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be more of a licensure issue than it is gonna be a planning issue.
The other
Yeah.
question, you say there's gonna be 3 separate buildings?
no, one building, 3 separate, or 2 separate uses. The office use is broken into 2 tenants. So one,
So you'll be renting out
yes,
a space,
that is my understanding.
an office space?
Yeah.
One of those? Okay.
If,
Is it mercantile or office?
It's just the office. This is all governed honestly by the DOT. So, given the site frontage and the proximity to the adjacent properties, the DOT has a whole calculation, and it determines the maximum number of trips permitted for the lot. So that's.
So it cannot be mercantile?
That'd be a lot of
One
trips.
retail use and 2 office uses. Right.
Correct.
Right, and I guess that's a question that comes up then. Will there be signage for those office uses or not?
Yes, there's.
They're captured on
It's
there?
a small, little tenant
Like
one,
tenant
tenant
signs,
two.
okay.
Yeah.
So you're proposing 3 separate businesses in this one lot. The Adams Outdoor sign, you owning the property and sign, that's one business. Then you got the retail, and then you got the dispensary front, and then the 2 office spaces in the back.
Yes, in an ideal world, that would be, however, the office space can't be, retail or anything. It has to be strictly office.
Is there anything that stopped them from using the billboard as advertising for their own place?
No,
No, it's actually better if they use it for reaching their own
it's
place.
a billboard that's there, that's been there. It's, conforming or at least an existing non-conforming use. I didn't look at that. I don't know if Dan did from a zoning perspective. I mean, it's a permitted, it's a permitted billboard.
Sign.
Right, it's an existing billboard sign, so I don't think there's anything stopping them from telling Adams Outdoor that they want their business advertised.
How long is the Adams Outdoor lease for?
So that's an annual lease that renews, it's July to June.
Anybody else have any questions?
Well, I think everything there, Mr. Ranger reviewed everything that I had in my letter and went through it very thoroughly, so. Unless I have any questions from the board, I don't have any feedback.
Yeah, big things from the first meeting were the phase 1, phase 2, and
The traffic was the big thing.
Yeah.
And that's, you went through all that, and our traffic engineer in our office reviewed it, and they, found that the conclusions were sound and thorough, and there were no concerns with queuing or anything like that, so. Certainly, I don't know how busy the business will be, I mean, certainly, but
Yes.
hopefully it's not an issue of queuing out into the highway, like a Dunkin' Donuts you might see or something, or Chick-fil-A, but, maybe then, operationally, the business would have to adapt, maybe make appointments or something.
And there is, in this section, there's about 13 feet of shoulder too. So in a world where it's surpassed all of the IT trip generation rates, and if there was any queuing, I don't think it would be an issue.
And beyond what's.
And a lot of these businesses too are moving to an app-based ordering system where you put it in and you have a set pickup time, so it's really
So you don't have
in and out, yeah.
loads of people arriving at the.
You show up, it's a 5-minute transaction.
But the board should also be mindful of the fact that there's a difference between internal circulation impact and actual traffic impact.
Right.
Because it is a permitted use within the zone district. So it is assumed that the traffic that it may generate was considered when the ordinance was enacted that allowed this use. So it's not, traffic impact is not the internal, maybe an issue, but it's the traffic impact on the road system is not a basis for the board to say it's good or not good, just from a legal perspective.
All right, so do we have any conditions here?
Well, they certainly have to comply with whatever licensing standards they're gonna have to obtain.
Yeah, Chapter 88 of the Township Code has a lot of different performance standards, including, like submitting a security plan to the police department and getting that approved. So that's all stuff we would have to do before, even obtaining the township license, let alone getting a CO.
I think also the phase 1 and phase 2 would be condition of approval for the geotech.
I just have, my concern is on our books right now, we do not have our for the sign, for the, whether or not you right now have a lease with Adams Outdoor.
That's correct.
My only question is there plans to renovate that sign? Because as of right now, we don't allow any flashing or LED signs. Our zoning is very vague in that realm. So my question is, do you have a plan on putting a new Adams Outdoor billboard sign up?
We do not at the moment. At the moment, that sign's not lit. That billboard's not lit.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. My other question then is, just clarification, I mean, other than that, my only question is, if you got the 3 storefronts, all right, your original parking spaces were for how many?
We have 47 stalls proposed.
47 stalls, and how many of them were for employees with the 3 separate stores? Am I understanding that correctly? Like, the dispensary's in the front, the one office is for the dispensary?
We would probably take that middle office.
Office for the dispensary office?
For us.
Okay.
And we've also thought about.
We're gonna need to swear you in if you're giving testimony here.
Maybe feed it to the engineer and feed it back, so everyone's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
or
the parking calculations for the office, so IT says 10 parking stalls, and peak demand.
10 stalls for all 3 of the stores.
For the 2 office uses, and then it has.
That's based on
20
square
Yes.
footage.
Yeah, based on square footage and that number, so the dispensary has 24 parking stalls, and those counts are, the way IT does it is they account for employees, and they account for customers in those numbers. So even the IT trip generation, a lot of the time you'll see, it have, say, 55 people entering and 53 people exiting during peak hour, because 2 of the people are staying to work. So that is all accounted for in those parking counts.
I have to imagine a peak hour will be different than the office.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
One's after hours.
Did the ITE have,
Well, maybe not, who knows?
does ITE have cannabis as a use or
Yes.
is it?
Yes. It's a
Cannabis
fairly new
dispense
use,
specifically.
so it is very conservative, and the standard deviation between the lowest and the biggest is like 150. So it is a very large, but they take a more conservative route, which is doing it off of the highest demand. So all the trips that I detailed out, that would be this is the most popular spot in the area.
And have you looked at any other nearby dispensaries to see how they're operating, or are you just going on ITE?
Just going on IT, however, the Phillipsburg, I think it's the Phillipsburg one.
The
doesn't have
Apothecarium, that doesn't have a parking,
Yeah.
that doesn't have its own parking, so it's people all jockeying on South Main Street, which you're not going to have.
And Pohatcong just approved another dispensary just down the street, not on the westbound side, but on the eastbound side of the highway. And essentially, people aren't going on trips now to go to these places. Generally, they're just passing by them. So a lot of the trips will be on people's routes home. They'll just go to, say, this one, if this is their route, or they'll go, if they're going eastbound, they'll go to the new one in Lopatcong or in the Apothecarium. There's, I believe.
One coming online in
Township is-
Greenwich,
Yeah. So there will
and I
be-
think another in Peaburg,
Yeah.
so.
You don't think that a dispensary is a destination?
I think it's becoming less of a destination than it was when IT did its trip generation rates.
They're gonna become more like liquor stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just stop on the way home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just whatever's convenient, and, you know, every town has one, and
And there's no internal consumption area, correct?
No.
it's not permitted.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
there's no on-site consumption
Yeah,
permitted.
so that
Yeah.
changes the dynamic, I think, too. So I'm like,
It's not a lounge.
No.
It's not a bar, right?
It's my understanding that there's no drive-up either, right, in dispensaries?
No.
Is that a legal ramification, or in the future, do you believe there will be?
I'm not sure.
We'd
how
have to
the
come
state-
back here.
Yeah.
If we did.
It is allowed? Okay, it is allowed.
Really?
You can't, yeah, okay. It's not proposed because we can't.
I'm not asking as an expert, but obviously, it is allowed in the
The
drive-up.
Cannabis Regulatory Commission is approved for
Okay.
drive-throughs, and there's quite a few in the state of Jersey.
Okay, thanks.
This is not proposed as a drive-through.
Yep.
I'm understanding that Chapter 88 is for the license, and that has to be vetted by the governing body, but is there anything you can provide this board in terms of some of those sort of land use elements, like the odor control or lighting, some of those requirements?
Well, why don't we,
Comply with those?
why don't we swear in, oh, yeah,
One
there's
more
still
question,
engineer.
That cover, is that a overhang?
Here?
No, on the
That's
left side.
The loading dock
The
area.
loading dock area.
Oh, no, that's open. That's just hatched for,
Hatched.
so it's not.
For no
parking.
parking.
No bar.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's not an awning or anything like that.
Okay, that's
Projection
my
of the building.
Are there any more questions for Mr. Ranger? Okay, thank you very much. I now like to call our sort of cannabis regulatory and operational expert, Sharon Murrah. Can you take a seat?
if you'd raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm?
I do.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're going to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, please state your name, spell your last for the record.
Sharon Murrah, Murrah.
Thank you.
Sharon, could you explain to the board your background in the cannabis industry?
Yes, for 3.5 years, I worked with Green Thumb Industries, a very large multi-state operator in the state of Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, and Maryland. So lots of different states regs.
Okay, and are you involved with the operation of cannabis dispensaries?
Yes, I have.
So you're-
Have been and am now.
So you're familiar with generally how they operate and with how this is proposed to operate?
Yes.
Okay, very good. First of all, what Mr. Block had asked. Will there be any packaging or manufacturing or anything like that occurring at this location?
No, we are just seeking to actually get our products from other suppliers.
And will this operation generate any odor?
It's actually, in my experience, there is very minimum odor, and it's within inside the dispensary, most certainly within the vault. The vault is built in a certain way that contains a lot of the smells. Our customers are also not allowed to open up the product while on premises on the property at all, so it minimizes any kind of effect that anybody may be able to smell of the product.
So if you're patronizing or working at one of the adjacent businesses, are you going to have, the odors coming in?
You will not.
Other than conventional, as any commercial establishment would have exterior lighting with that, would there be any additional lighting here beyond, what I would say customary and expected commercial
There
lighting?
usually is additional lighting. The CRC definitely requires it because of the amount of camera footage that we have to have around our entire dispensary and within our dispensary. The only place there's not cameras is inside the restrooms, of course. And that's so that local law enforcement can be able to have contact with that, but as well the CRC monitors cameras in any of the dispensaries in the state of New Jersey at all times.
Is there anything that would generate undue noise,
No,
glare,
no.
any sort of nuisance type condition that would be obnoxious to either passersby or neighbors?
None.
And could you kind of, generally speaking, give, what would the experience of somebody be when they pull up into the dispensary? How does that work?
Typically can be as quick or as fast as you would like it. Typically what's happening now in the cannabis industry is most of the time about 60 to 65% of the customers coming in already set a pre-order and set a pickup time. So those customers are coming in, parking, walking in, and usually getting in and out within 5 minutes and on their way. Then there's a few customers who will come in because they want consultation. Those customers usually don't spend more than about 10, 15 minutes tops, but that's because they're getting the sales consultants to be able to help them to identify the products that can help them to fit their needs.
And what kind of security protocols are generally followed?
Security, typically, not only from the camera standpoint, as I had already mentioned, most certainly we're going to have our own in-house security where they'll be watching the cameras as well. We most certainly do not want to permit loitering, and so that's the reason that we want to be able to get our customers in and out quickly and get the sales experience that they would like to get. And we also have many points of being able to ensure that it is 21. We do it at the point of entry into the business to check IDs, and then again at the time of point of sale.
And as the township's ordinance requires, of course, you'll review and have the security protocols approved by the township police department.
Absolutely.
And no visible products visible from the street or from outside?
No, and even within our own location, customers cannot actually visually see the product. It's against the regulations in the state of New Jersey for the Cannabis Regulatory Commission. So the only time that you might see anything is actually an empty package that has no product in it. It's only for visual purposes.
And I guess my final question would be, how are deliveries generally made to a dispensary?
Deliveries from any of the suppliers within the state of New Jersey that are, of course, they have to be approved through the CRC. But on top of that, they are actually equipped with video footage and camera footage, so to be able to monitor that movement. And they actually have to follow set routes within the state. And then when they do, they're all completely sealed. Nobody can look inside the larger vans that they carry the product in. They would actually know when the delivery is coming to our location. And then our security team member can be there with the team to actually receive the shipment. And usually they are only there for a short period of time to drop off the product, and then it's in-house in our vault where we're being able to keep security measures with the product until the point of sale.
And are deliveries usually made with like courier vans or passenger vehicles, or is it box trucks or tractor trailers?
In my experience, I've really never seen a box truck in the state of New Jersey. They're usually courier vans that are completely enclosed and you can't see, there's no windows, you can't see inside. And they're unmarked.
And they can fit in a regular parking space?
Yes.
Unless you have anything you'd like to add, I have nothing further if the board or
How
public
often
have
do
questions.
deliveries come?
It depends on the volume of the
Okay.
store. For instance, I had a location one time that's extremely high volume, so we typically scheduled them separately so they were not back to back, and we would have upwards to 5 deliveries a day, Monday through Friday.
I have a question on the lighting. So you said that there's video cameras or cameras that need lighting. Is the lighting on 24 hours a day, or is it to get turned down?
There are certain key low lighting that in the dispensaries, and of course, we'll do anything within the township that's expected. But typically, there's a lower level of lighting, so that way you can still have video access to see, especially if for some reason somebody comes onto the property after hours.
So after the businesses are closed, lighting levels can be reduced.
Yeah, they're usually not as like bright in the parking lot spaces. They're reduced at that level. Yes.
Security lighting after
Do
10
like a
p.m.
50% or something like that reduction in brightness during off hours.
I have a question, I don't know if it's for you or you. I've never been in one, so my experience with the filter one is there's a high volume of pedestrian traffic coming out of the building. Is that going to be the same situation here? And if it is, what are you doing inside the store or outside of the dispensary that is going to reassure that someone coming in from the road is not, you're not going to have a line of people standing?
There, can you speak to that?
Yeah, so I mean, this is just the submitted architectural plan, the revised one that you received. So there is customer waiting areas and the door is, large enough to have one person coming in, one person.
And what's the occupancy rating of that waiting room?
Let's see, I'm not an architect, nor did I prepare these plans. It's not a note, and I am not.
So like if you say there was 47 parking, 25 people coming in, the waiting area,
It's
how many?
It's about 20 by almost 14 feet, so
Okay.
it's a large, and that's just one side.
Yep.
So there's 2 security doors, probably one for entering, one for exiting. And
That answered my question.
Yeah.
I've never been in one, and I just know the amount of traffic.
And just to extra context, that location that you're talking about doesn't have a significant, well, any parking. It's side street parking,
Yeah.
and that's the reason that they're running into the problems they are.
It's a more walkable area too, like you don't see
Yes.
many people walking up and down.
It's a large parking lot, and then we have a waiting room, and quite frankly, a lot of it comes down to the technology and what you put into the store that allows people to get in and out at a faster rate.
Any other questions? The smell of it, you said that really the only smell is inside the vault. Is that because of the way it's packaged, or is there a law that requires some kind of scrubber for the smell, or?
Well, a lot of the suppliers out there actually have like almost child-proof type of packaging, where even if it's almost like Ziploc, it is very difficult to open, so it seals a lot of the smell.
Gotcha.
Can be almost adult-proof sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to open it. It's adult-proof too.
And the bathrooms are for customers?
No, the bathrooms are completely separate. It's a staff area, and then the countertop surrounds that, and then there's the break room. All of this is only accessible by employees.
In your experience, none of your dispensaries have customer bathrooms?
I have, between all of those states. It depends upon, sometimes the state or the city would require it. A lot of times I've used to some townships that did not want it because of the lack of the camera footage that would be in the bathroom, and it could, then proponent of causing somebody who was a customer to then try to, ingest in one of the bathrooms where there's not cameras. So that's the reason we like to really kind of limit it just to the employees.
Anybody else? Adam? Dan?
Nothing to add.
Okay. All right, so the next step here is we're gonna have to vote on these variances.
We're opening it up to the public for public comment.
Public comments?
Yes, if you'd like to come and make a comment, you're gonna get sworn in, okay?
Okay, question or just comment?
If you have a question, you don't need to get sworn in. If you want to make a comment, I'm gonna swear you in.
I just have a question. So.
You can ask these guys, not the board.
Okay, hi. Age requirement, so I heard you say that there's an age requirement at entry and then also at purchase. Does that mean that you have more than one employee on a shift? If you're busy, how do they do both things? And what about, an adult who makes that age requirement but has children with them? Family members, how do you do
From
it?
a Cannabis Regulatory Commission standpoint, first of all, in our location, we will have a point that you come in and you have to get checked in before you can actually then walk into the dispensary. That's in the waiting area. So you wouldn't even be allowed into the dispensary until we've proven that you're 21 years of age or older. Then the CRC does allow And they've gone back and forth, but there are times that they have said that it's okay if someone has their own young child with them that's underage, that they can hold them to bring them into the building. We follow whatever the Cannabis Regulatory Commission tells us at that time.
Why don't you, since the question was raised, what would a typical staffing be at a dispensary?
Well, you're looking at this location is definitely going to have more than 2 or 3 people. It's probably going to be in the upwards of like 8 to 10 people at any given time in the building. There's always going to be someone manned at the front of the store to be able to check guests in and ensure that they're of age and that they're legal, before we can then allow them to then come into the regular part of the dispensary to talk to any of our people about the product, and then to be able to ring up at the point of sale.
Okay, so I guess, considering what the age cutoff is, so you're saying if a mother or dad is holding a child at what age, it's like, so you're saying, well, it's a 5-year-old and I can carry you, or it's a 8-year-old and I'm holding your hand, or,
Yeah, every state's a little different. Right now, like Jersey.
What is it here? What would it be for this?
Here in Jersey, they've allowed if it is someone that is a child that isn't like able to like walk on their own, like toddler type of size. They've never come back with an age. And they've always said toddler type. Then that child would not be, and what's the word, felt safe by leaving alone in the car. And so that's what the CRC has said. And they can change it in a given moment. We just follow what their protocols are.
Okay. My second question was, Route 22 is like, we're getting more and more truck traffic, 18-wheelers. What's to prevent them from stopping along the side of Route 22 and coming in, because, I'm just gonna grab this and park it and go?
Well, I guess that we.
Or how do we control that?
Law enforcement stopping people from trucks from parking on the
I
side
mean,
of the
because
highway.
we're already struggling with the 18-wheelers.
It's not their problem. That's
Okay.
the police department, they will take care of it.
Yeah, Pam, that's also against the federal law for anybody in a commercial vehicle to have any kind of drugs at all, so.
They can't even do it.
I don't know that they would want to take.
Okay, I just know that we're
I can't
already
speak to
having
it,
lots
but
of.
that would be my guess, is that, they might not want to take.
CDL
that risk.
requirements.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Get your minutes for sure.
All right. Do you see any problem with these variances?
Well,
You got time.
Well, I mean, before we vote on it.
So,
In terms of, yeah.
I mean,
Offering.
So the first thing you have is the lot area, right? And there was something put into the ordinance for the dispensary use that it only needs to be 1 acre. But because they have multiple uses, they're still required to meet the 2 acres. And I think they've presented testimony that the site still works despite being a little bit undersized. They've reduced the coverage, they're still in compliance with all of that. The only thing that is not complying with is the buffer on the one side, which is from the gas station, so I don't really see any substantial detriment to the gas station from a smaller buffer. The parking in the front yard, I think it worked. It was really just a technicality on the way that the ordinance was drafted. If the building was actually set at 75 feet at the front yard setback line, the parking would be allowed in the front. So they moved the building back 10 feet, and the ordinance says you have to have the parking behind the setback line there. Well, there's not enough room. But I think they're meeting the spirit and intent of the ordinance, which is keeping the parking next to the building. They're not pushing it out into the front yard. So I think that makes sense. And then the sign, I think you heard that probably because of the topography, the speed of the road, they want it just to be a little bit taller rather than a small monument sign so that it's more visible. It's going to be tough to see that with the BP sign, then you have this sign, and then you have the billboard all right in a row. So we really want to make sure that, people know where they're going. If they miss that turn, then they have to go all the way to Phillipsburg and turn around and come back, so.
Just one final clarification, I guess. You didn't ask this question. Is there going to be building mounted signage?
There is one building mounted sign, I believe, on the front face of the building.
Yeah, I don't know if do we have an elevation or something on the architectural plans that might depict that?
Yeah.
Just to give the board a full view of what that might be.
I believe zoning would require another variance for that, though. You have a building sign and also.
Yeah, we'll comply with the township sign ordinance for sure, recognizing that if there is any deviation we have to come back and see you guys?
So it's not shown here, but it would be located in this area along the front. It's about let me see.
But, it should be sized to be, as Mr. Peck indicated, conforming with the.
Yes, it'll conform.
With the zoning ordinance for facade mounted signage.
You're also saying it was 3 businesses anyway, so that would, with our ordinance for the signs, you'd be covered under that anyway, because it's just like the sign across the
Yeah.
front. So I stand corrected on that then, because you are saying you're gonna have an office and dispensary, so.
One last quick, is this slab? Is there a basement?
No
No
basement.
basement, just on a slab.
Yeah.
And your,
And depending on what the geotech comes back with.
your reasoning, did you say the location of it could be pushed back to the back of the property, or there?
It would require additional variances for the impervious coverage
Okay.
to do that.
Yeah, because you're, sorry, okay. So that's why you're asking for the variance, because if you push it back, then you're gonna need more, you're gonna need more coverage.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. All right, so we can do these in bulk.
You do them all at one time?
Yeah. Okay. 243.74 minimum lot area, 243-74D buffer strip, 243-53E freestanding sign height, 243-49D front yard parking. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve these variances?
With the associated preliminary final site plan.
Yes.
I'll make a motion. With the conditions of the approvals from DOT and.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be compliance with all preliminary and planning memorandum.
And all outside
Outside
agency
agencies.
approvals as well.
Right. I'll second that motion.
All right, I'll give it a roll call. Members, Floyd,
Yes.
Hardy,
Am I voting or abstaining?
Yes,
Voting.
you're voting.
Yes.
Lawler,
Yes.
Vice Chairwoman DeLeo,
Yes.
and Chairman Sampson.
Yes.
Motion passes. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Really appreciate it. Have a great Christmas, happy holiday, New Year, all that good stuff. Derek.
Yeah, no,
Okay, thank you.
I swear to God.
Yeah. Guys are crazy.
So, I'm the fire official? Yeah. So, when you're doing that, that's why I just mentioned, if you do ahead of time, the no parking, and the parking's on the pavement, they'll come in. My first fire inspection, especially with keeping access for the fire trucks to get down the rear of the building.
Yeah.
So that'd be fantastic. Yeah.
When you, like, street.
Just like half, like striping, yeah, that's fine, along the rear, yeah, that.
Because honestly, it's only there.
Correct. Right,
You do it if people are.
I don't know. I don't know anything.
You should not park there.
Yeah, whatever.
Especially sometimes.
I don't.
Yeah, I know, like, you park there as well.
Yeah, problem.
But it was. Thank you very much. Good luck, gentlemen.
Okay, at this time, we have a couple other things to talk about. Someone, we have to do,
Yeah, we have to go to executive session. I don't know why.
the boss. All right, would somebody care to make a,
Executive session. Make a motion to executive session.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you.
Make a motion to go to executive session.
Make the motion.
Can we stay?
No, you guys can.
Are we in trouble?
Yeah.
you guys are free to go, except Jim.
Yeah.
Are we in trouble?
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah, you too.
No.
Oh, if you hang out, this shouldn't take very long. I'll talk to you.
What? Beth, are they tearing up the rest of our road?
I'll go back to later and tell them, do whatever you want.
Make a motion to come out of executive session.
Make a motion.
Second?
All
Second.
in favor?
Oh.
Aye. Make a motion to close?
Make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Happy
Yes,
holidays.
you guys all
Adam,
Adam.
well, I asked you about, should I phrase that differently?